After playing miniguns 4-gate over and over and over again, other 4-gates don't seem as bad.
Yeah, I think I saw you play against that.
Yeah.
He has a lot of sentries and a lot of zealots. And that's, I'm assuming, your exception in that warp gate units are trash. Minigun has them and he has a lot of sentries, then they're rather effective, right?
What did you say? Sorry, say that one more time.
Gateway units.
Are what?
Not so well, they're typically trash, but if Root Minigun has those gateway units and he has a lot of sentries, then they're not trash anymore.
No, actually that's the thing. They're still trash, but he can use the sentries to run away. He cannot fight. I just want to show you. That's what I want to show you. I want to show you how powerful your ability to overwhelm the Protoss without any splash damage. High Templar, Colossus, and Void Rays are needed in the Protoss army. Otherwise, they just can't deal enough DPS to take out the massive numbers of Zerg units you can throw at him. And I really think you need to see it, like, just watch it happen. Because what's going to happen this game is it's going to look like he's got a lot, and I'm just wasting units, and it's going to look like I'm kind of in a pretty bad fight, but after a while, you're just going to see all of his shit die and die and die, and I'm just going to have more and more and more units, and eventually he's going to have nothing, and I'm just going to be overwhelming his base. That's what it's going to look like. That's what it should look like as you play Zerg.
Okay, but to do that, you're going to need, 2 expos with decent saturation and getting your third?
Yep. That third is important, and then injections and all that good shit.
We require more minerals. We require more minerals. We require more minerals.
I like to send my drone out to chase that pro because it makes them think I'm gonna fast expand, especially if they haven't seen the spawning pool. So they'll often waste money on that.
And they'll let it finish.
Huh?
On the pylon, yeah? They'll let it finish.
They shouldn't. If they're good, they'll cancel it, but some people still let it finish. Even good players will sometimes, just to keep the Zerg from hatching first if they think he's going to try it after the pylon is cancelled.
How do you respond when you see a Stargate?
One Stargate, I kind of LOL, and then I just make 3 queens and win. If they're going to do any kind of 1 base build, then they'll lose every time. Protoss 1 base builds are about as bad as Zerg 1 base builds. Terran is pretty much the only race that can do, that have very, very, very fucking powerful 1 base builds.
Okay, so the TOS definitely needs an expo.
Yeah. 3-gate expo is the way to play. 3-gate expo to a TOS is kind of like, 3-gate expo to a TOS is the same build that I'm doing here. 14 pool into fast expand. Forge first expo would be kind of like hatch first and then pool. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. And those really are the only 2 viable Protoss openings right now, I think, anyway. 1 base builds are really gimmicky. If you scout whatever 1 base thing he's doing, then you counter it, you can win. The only exception to that is 4-gate. Or the 4-gate variations, like playing Stalkers or whatever.
I find it sometimes difficult when, I think the reason I find it difficult as well is because I'm not trading, as you're going to show me, is when somebody goes to, say, Stargate, they get a couple of Void Rays, they're not an idiot and they don't lose them. They just poke and then they come back with Colossus and they got the Void Rays as well.
I mean, that could be really powerful off of 2 bases, but if it's on 1 base, what should happen
No, they've usually expanded, they've used the Void Rays
to
get their expansion up.
Yeah, that can be viable then. Viable. I keep saying viable, I'm sorry. It can be viable. I think viable can be a correct way to pronounce it, but whatever. No, that can work. Look, so all game long, like, even as I'm scouting, I'm always pushing that. I've always got my hatchery selected, you know? I'm always pressing that 4SD, 4SD. Haha. Sorry, kind of rude. I'm gonna control the saturation between my 2 bases by rechanging the rally. Right now...
Yes, this is something I noticed.
Yep. Right now I've got a lot of drones at my main, so I'm just gonna have all my drones rallied at my natural right now.
Are you specifically counting them, or are you doing it by sight?
I hold down control and select, and I just look and see how many drones I see. I'm gonna throw down my roach horn right about now. I'm guessing he's expanding because I saw the 2 sentries. I think my natural's saturated, so I'm going to change the rally on my main hatch, so that now I'm only sending drones there. So now the drones that are spawning are going to different ones. Like the main is going to the main patch, the nat is going to the nat patch.
Because now you've evened it out.
Yep. Did I start that roach one? Yep. And I see his expansion going down. So now my goal at this point in the game is I'm going for 2 base saturation. Once I hit 2 base saturation, I'm going to produce upgraded speed roaches, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to use those upgraded speed roaches to secure a 3rd base of my own while denying his 3rd base, okay? Once I'm on 3 bases for a while, if I can set up like a 4th and he still hasn't taken his 3rd, I mean, at that point, I've pretty much won the game. I'm expecting him to move out fairly soon with his little pressure ball or whatever. But I mean, look at my natural. I feel good about that. And my main, I feel good about that. So I feel like I'm saturated now, so I'm just going to produce roaches, okay?
Okay.
I've got a 3rd queen coming out. You really should spread creep in every match. Well, yeah, in every matchup. I've got the money for it, so there's that 3rd queen. I'll use that to start spreading some creepy around. Here comes his little pressure ball. But I'm Zerg, so I don't give a fuck, because he doesn't have splash units. And if he pushes me with that, he's going to lose all of it.
So essentially you're saying the Zerg units are pretty good unless there's splash involved. In which
Exactly.
case they suck.
Yep, or unless there's... Well, really, it's more about DPS than splash. Although they're kind of one and the same. That's a different kind of argument. But, like, Marines deal a fuck ton of damage very fucking quickly. Very high DPS. So they can deal with, Zerg units. But if you think about it, Protoss doesn't really have the Marine equivalent. Nothing they have deals damage very quickly.
And you can micro marines a lot to increase their damage output.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Because yeah, you know, I play idiots like.
Well, if they sit there and fire at you and then they
move.
move and fire, it still has the same damage output. It still has the same damage output.
I don't know. Sometimes someone throws 8 marines at me, and I'm just like, it doesn't matter. And then sometimes someone throws 8 marines at me, and I do what seems to be the same thing, and everything dies.
Maybe.
So
I'm good about my saturation. I'm going to make like half drones and half roaches. I'm going to throw up a Spire right now in anticipation of Colossus. I'm going to get 2 Evo chambers down to start upgrading. And now I'm just going to kind of poke him. But I'm going to poke carefully because I don't want to get caught by some. So now look at the difference. The difference between my game and your game is that I own the field. I own the map right now. He can't take a 3rd. I'm setting up my 3rd very comfortably. In fact, I'm going to go break down the rock to set up my gold. I've got vision over the entire fucking map. There's nothing that can surprise me right now unless he rushes DTs or something gay, in which case I'll just DM him. I'll make that overload on the side of his base into an overseer so I can see what the exact timing is going to be on when his Colossus come out.
and that's because you don't want to pay for the upgrade of speed.
No, I'll get speed too. It's a good upgrade to have.
Okay, then why make the overseer? His abilities aren't exactly that exciting.
Okay, what's going on here? See him moving out?
Yeah.
Where's his splash? He doesn't have any, does he?
No.
Nope.
I see. You get as close as possible.
Yep,
until the
yep, as
engagement
close as
starts, so
possible
that
to
the
minimize the
force fields do
effectiveness. Yep. Gonna go back, keep injecting. Looks pretty close right now, right?
less. Yeah,
But
looks
it's not,
like
it's
crazy.
not.
You're throwing away your units as far as, you know, my brain is telling
Whoops.
me.
Fuck, that was bad. He cannot deal enough damage quick enough to deal with the army that I can throw at him. At least I don't think so. Maybe, unless he's doing a 6 gate. What the fuck is going on here? Look at where I keep changing my rally to. I'm collecting units on this little ball. I'm gonna run in my little overseer to see what's going on. I'm a little surprised it doesn't have any robo units yet.
We require more.
He does have a robo though, because yeah, it's
Yep.
sort.
Wha-bam! That helps.
Alright, that was me taking the piss out of the
We require
the overseer, and he does something useful.
Okay, I'm gonna chill out for now.
But that's not something you're always trying to do, right? Corrupt, kind of contaminate.
If anytime you can is really good.
Is that part of your game plan against us?
It should be, but I'm not
Okay.
good enough yet to incorporate that. There's so much to do already. Like, I could have better overlord positioning around the map right now.
I find that weird because like I talk to some people like who've played Brood War before and they just get all upset about how dumbed down this game apparently is.
It's not.
And how
They're
they've got
nostalgia.
APM to burn.
No, they're nostalgia fags. Nobody in this game right now has APM to burn. I'd very much want to see anybody. Grabbing my air upgrades.
You're grabbing some corruptors because you saw those colossi coming out.
Yep.
Do you set a maximum amount on the corruptors that you make? Set figure?
I don't know. It depends on how many colossus he has, whether or not he's getting board raised too. Got energy on his overseer again. I'm gonna go ahead and install that again. So I see we've got one colossus.
And you're moving back just because of the force fields, right?
Yeah. He's got quite a bit of gateway units right now. But he still doesn't have that splash, so if he would try to push me right now, I don't think he can, I don't think he could even take this gold out. Could be wrong, but I don't think so.
And you've changed all your hatches to point at the gold, right? For the
Yep,
drones.
I'm constantly changing those hotkeys around. He is pretty good at that. Getting as close as possible. All I have to do is keep throwing units at him, and he's got no splash. He can't deal with it.
That's beautiful. You hug him, and then he tries to force field. But
Yeah,
you
and then I
hug
just
him,
get
so-
hugged even closer. So I mean, it still seems kind of close. And
Yeah,
it
it
really
looks
is.
like you're losing all your shit right now.
Yeah, it kind of does. But all I have to do is keep rallying, keep sending shit.
And you're running behind him because you believe you're going to push him back further, right?
Yep.
But you're not hotkeying any of these guys.
Nope. Well, I mean, I should be, but I'm like actively fighting right now, so I'm less worried about getting everything super hot.
And you're gonna
Man,
leave
really,
those
you know, I'm being
props.
way too aggressive right now. I have a really comfortable lead. I can very easily sit back and macro from this point.
Because he hasn't got a third yet.
Yeah, he doesn't even have his third yet, which is what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna learn good habits. So I'm gonna scoot my rally back a little bit. I mean, from this point in the game, there should be no possible way for me to lose.
Okay, boy. It's just the case that you've got enough corruptors that you're not worried if he builds a few colossus and then gives them to you.
I mean, really, this game I should have. When you win those pushes like that, you don't have to be as aggressive as I was being. I was kind of being a little bit over aggressive to kind of make a point, and that his army without splash is really kind of weak. There should never be a way that he can push it with this army before he gets a bunch of high splash units.
So basically, as far as I'm concerned, if somebody's opening up and they're building a lot of gateways, then I should be in a good position to win more or less any engagement I want.
Pretty much,
Until some
unless
splash down.
unless they do like a 6-gate all-in or something. Well, I say 6-gate all-in, unless they do like a 6-gate or something, that'd be kind of bad. But I mean, once you've got like 3 bases running and you've kept him off a third, you should be able to throw like anything you want at this guy, and he should just die. And I mean, as you can see, like I'm already remaxed again. I'm just constantly building units. This guy's probably how much supply is he at? Is he at like 60, 70, 80 supply?
Don't know.
Is he even at that? Because he threw away all those probes.
No, he's at 30.
Yeah, so this
Game's
guy's
over.
done.
Totally over. So essentially, the composition that you're advocating against the standard opening is roaches. lots
Yeah,
of
roaches and lings.
Few lings. You didn't make that many lings. did
Yeah,
you?
not really. I didn't.
As opposed to what was, I don't know, seen as conventional a while back, which was doing roaches and hydras.